Anyways, so next game, as I told you, I love fighting. Wow, wow, wow. Fighting is great. Violence is not great, but fighting is great. Okay, the next game is oh god, sorry. The next game is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival. Turbo Revival. It has T-Hawk, DJ, and Cammy. I think these were the characters that were new. Like, of course, this is again, right? Another Super Nintendo port, but yeah, in GBA form, we have less buttons, but still was really great. And of course, this game I kind of beat because if you play Chun-Li, as Chun-Li, everything is so easy. You just spam her kicks because they have this rapid fire kicks. The only menace to that plan is DJ because he had this projectile move. But if you learn how to dodge it, if you learn how to dodge it, to jump over it, then even DJ is easy to beat. And then of course I got a bit better against playing against the computer. So yeah, I enjoyed beating up the PC, the comp players. And of course, spoiler, you unlock Akuma, which is super cool. He's really, strong character. To be honest, I'm not that much into Street Fighter. I'm more of a Tekken guy, but even then, I never play online or something. I'm never like a competitive player. To be honest, if I was entering like the esports world, I would definitely play either Tekken. I would play Tekken over Street Fighter because I just grew up with it. As I mentioned, PS1 and Tekken 3 was just my jam, I would say. And then, or Smash Bros. Because it looks, I'm really bad at Smash Bros. But I have some childhood memories with it because I played it always at my friend's place. And it was a core memory. And I don't know, Smash esports looks super cool to me, even though I don't really understand anything. But Street Fighter, to be honest, back then also I'm an anime fan, and all these sprites, these character profiles, damn, they look so cool. This art style, this really mature with the harsh shadows, all this blackness, the values really crushed. They look also menacing. Look at Fei Long. Damn. Yeah, Sagat, of course. Crazy dude. Yeah, it's not that I don't like Street Fighter nowadays, but it's just, I prefer Tekken. But there is even Tekken for the GBA. But I think, this is a better game because I have it now, the Tekken game. Because I recently, last year, I got into, as I mentioned, collecting physical games, physical GBA games. If you're interested in my whole collection, definitely type it into the comments because that would be another fun video. Yeah. Even though I mostly collect games, collected the Ghost games, haven't played too many of them, but yeah, would be worth a look, I would say. Yeah, really cool.
Yes.
Man, okay, this also I just really like how the cover art looks. It's in my opinion really well designed. Really, really well designed. Now to a game from harsh fighting with brutal martial arts and so on to a very bubbly little pink fluff ball. It's Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Damn, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is such a cool game, and I'm really happy that I experienced this as my very first Kirby game. And of course, if I was older, I would have maybe grown up with maybe the NES game, because fun fact, this is a remake. Is it? No, it's not the remake of the NES version. It's a remake of... Or is it? Oh, guys, okay, okay. Oh God, maybe, I don't know, editing Manu will insert the info somewhere, or I don't know, just tell me in the comments. You probably know more than me at this point. But this is definitely a remake, but I know that the original version of this game didn't have the iconic um, suck-in power-up feature that this Kirby is nowadays known for. And the only thing Kirby was able to do was just, inhale and exhale like air or gas and use it as a projectile and float. So, man, Kirby. So this is actually, I got this game. I got this for my birthday. I remember. I really wanted this game because the reason was, of course, I didn't get this when it came out. I got this when it was later on. 2 reasons.
Wow.
First, there was this one TV show for children, and they always had like this game or like quiz. They always had like a quiz, and it was a TV show, and you could call into the TV show. Wow, that's old, right? I'm dating myself. Remember when that was a thing? Calling into a TV show, and then you would say your answer, and then you could get the prize. And I remember one time there was this game as the prize with a Gameboy Advance. I don't remember if it was a SP, but it was definitely this game. And I really wanted to win this. But the thing is, of course, plenty of children wanted to win this and called the TV show. So the hotline. So I never ended up winning this that way. I got this for my birthday. And the second reason, or like the second canon event that led me to wanting this game was I was at another cousin's. Apparently I have plenty of cousins. To be honest, they're not always really my cousins, but they're, you know how it is when you have like relatives, or you don't even know if you are related to them, but you just call them cousin, right? That's just how it is. So anyways, I was at another cousin's house, and it was like a house party because they had a cool house, and it was always the kids were in the children's room, and this cousin had a Nintendo 64 with Kirby crystal shards. I remember this vividly, that I really was like, it blew my mind that this Kirby game really blew my mind. I definitely need to play this at some point. I always like peeked into it, I played a few levels, but I never really seriously tried to beat the game or like really try to experience the game, because I always loved this mechanic of Kirby being able to copy 2 abilities and mix and match them. That was really cool, and I thought when I saw this game at the store when deciding a game for my birthday, I thought that this game would also have the same function of Kirby being able to inhale 2 power-ups, and then totally new power-ups. Power-up would be created, but that wasn't the case. And to be honest, I'm not really. I was kind of disappointed back then, but nonetheless I'm really happy that I got this game, because this is of course not a really hard game to play. If you want 100% it, there are some tricky things, like tricky hidden rooms you have to find, but other than that, this was more right up my alley, because even when I was a child, this unskillful child that never beaten any of those games, the first 4 games here before, was able to beat this game and totally. And for example, I've beaten the final boss, Nightmare. He's called Nightmare. So many times. I wouldn't say it's like speedrun worthy, but I got really good at it. And there were some days, in back in school, like summer holidays, we weren't really going going on trips that much, or like going huge far away trips, because of course the money thing. But I remember like sometimes for like the whole day just beating the final boss over and over again and never getting tired of it, and trying to do this with different types of power-ups. And okay, of course, okay, spoiler, the final boss is first against King DDD, then against this circular nightmare form, which is like more a shooter, and then against Nightmare in his final form. So in the last two battles, you always have the Star Scepter, you would say. So anyways, so it doesn't really, you can't really use another power-up, but anyways, King DDD, I used plenty of power-ups. The best for me was always the cycle, the wheel power-up. And also one thing, with Nightmare in Dreamland, I experienced the first time like other languages, because these ones I always played them in German.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I did. And this one, I always was interested in playing it in different languages, because when you have a power-up and you go into the, press start into the menu, there was always like this flavor text about the power-up. It was always really interesting to see what other languages had to say. Of course, English was the only one I was able to kind of get, or ask my sister, who was more fluent in English than I was.
Spoiler.
But for example, but yeah, of course, like for Spanish, Italian, or something, all these other European languages, I had no clue what they said, but it was fun. But and then the one thing I really remember was that here in this game, I also learned that laser is actually an acronym of light amplification by stimulated emitted radiation, something like that. And I never knew this before. Only thanks to this game, I was able to learn that. So yeah, you definitely learn something cool with video games, right? So anyways, yeah, this and also all the mini games, guys. The mini games, it had at least 3 mini games, which are still a staple. I on the Switch, I have this one. I don't know which one is this. Not the Forgotten Land Kirby game, but this other one with this magician guy, and there's this whole mini game land, festival land, and the games from this game. Some of the mini games from this game even made it also to the Switch game, which is really cool. And yeah, the mini games here are really great as well. Definitely recommend. Yeah, the thing is also this game is not that cheap anymore, because it's a Kirby game. In general, GBA, they're sought after GBA games, they're not really that expensive, but I mean, not like, not like Super Nintendo Mega Man X expensive, not like that. But they can get like for a price that, well, I would say, yeah, do you really need to pay those prices for games that are outdated? But yeah, I'm happy that I still have my copy from my childhood, which is really cool. So another game which I also never beat, but my sister did. But then this was more of a reason that I think I didn't decide to get this game, but it was just a game I just got from my parents. So they just probably thought, oh yeah, it was cheap. And yeah, just pick it up and give it to my children. It was Cullum's Crown. And to be honest, I'm not much of a fan of it, because it's like columns. It's basically columns, but it had this cool, in the story mode, you could have like power-ups, like attack moves and so on, if you do things right. And then of course it had an endless mode. But I have to say, I'm just not that kind of columns guy. This was more a game for my sister. She really enjoyed the heck out of this game. Beat the yeah, the story mode plenty of times. We never got to complete the crown, to be honest. It's really hard. Probably you have to get like really crazy. But for example, in the endless mode, my sister got like S ranks, got like really far. She was really into this game. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe for some, for nostalgic, like how to say, for a nostalgic present. Maybe I gift my older sister like a emulation handheld with this game on it. Just this game. And then she can play columns all day. Like on the way, on the commute or something. Because my sister my older sister really enjoyed this game. And the thing was also, as a younger brother, I always enjoyed watching my older sister play things. Because of course I was always frustrated because I was just so unskilled. And never beaten anything. Also, like for example, when we played stuff on the PlayStation, on the PlayStation 1, like Crash Bandicoot or something. Crash Bandicoot just way too hard for a little child like me back then. So I always enjoyed watching my sister play. It was basically like an analog, you could say analog Let's Play from back in the time. So, and also I remember that my sister always wanted to play this game. And one thing, of course, that annoyed me, I wasn't able to play the Game Boy Advance because she was using it. And then, second thing that annoyed me, if I wanted to look her playing, I found it boring that she was playing this game instead of maybe Final Fight 1, which I liked more, but my sister didn't really like. So yeah. Column's Crown. Not my thing, not my cup of tea. Maybe, I don't know, maybe tastes have changed. Maybe I'm a super fan now and my older sister isn't anymore. But yeah, as a child, I remember this being more boring, but still a nice game. If you like columns, I guess. Yo. And then, then, okay, I don't know if anyone noticed, but for this I have to kind of explain myself a bit more. It's this is a bootleg game. This is something. I kind of sad that this is so the condition is so bad, but we got this back then when we went on a pretty unique summer holiday trip with my cousins, the two cousins with the GBA SPs. And the reason we were on the plane was because we went for a trip to the Philippines. Now to Manu law, I'm actually Filipino. Or my parents are. Anyways. So we went on a trip to the Philippines and we went to a mall. I remember we went to a mall and went to a gaming store, and I was allowed to choose one game. And I was looking at all those games, and they also had legit games, but I never seen anything like this before. Like holographic box. That was already intriguing because, of course, back at the time, I already loved Yu-Gi-Oh! And with trading card games, you have the foil cards, the holographic cards. And this box really looked like this kind of, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And I was like, oh man, this must be the best thing ever, because you not only have, I think the game is inside. So, to be honest, I think the game doesn't even work anymore. I think it got bricked over time, which is really sad because the only original games that are here are the two Sonic games. So basically, what my thought was, I have Sonic 1, now I want Sonic Advance 2 and 3, which is where it was on there, and then it advertises that it has Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, which was would have been really nice because playing those two, it would be cool because I actually should have. Yeah, I actually still have those games. I do have these games. I also had this as a child from my childhood, and I still have the cartridges. Sadly, not the whole complete in box, like these. When I was younger, I don't know why I kept my GBA game boxes, but all the Game Boy Color and Game Boy game boxes, I don't have, except one, which is Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy. Oh, is it? No. Or maybe, maybe I repurchased it. Okay, I don't remember. No, I probably not. Oh no, wait. Okay. That's a story for another time. But anyways, so of course it would have been redundant. But then they have Super Mario Bros. 3, which my cousin had, and I always wanted to also have because it's a really cool game. I really liked it. Donkey Kong Country, which is also really cool. I would have loved to have it back in the time because I had in before primary school. There's or kindergarten or something. I had a friend who had a Donkey Kong games, the Donkey Kong Land games on Game Boy. And I remember those were so much fun. So, and I had for the Game Boy Super Nintendo a Superboy, and it was really fun to play those Donkey Kong Land games on the Superboy, on the Super Nintendo, and we played those a lot back then. And it was I have so that's what was also a thing, and it has also columns here. This is Super Kickoff, I don't know, Magic Quest, Tetris. This cartridge even has Tetris. And also Magic Quest, Donald Duck, and so on. It advertises with these and these two, but the only thing it actually has are these two. And all the other games, it's pretty much like a Famiclone. It's like even if you press L and R or something, you get into the emulator settings, and you can see it's like Goomba NES or something, like the GBA emulator for NES games. So, and for example, it says Pokemon Gold and Silver, and those are those weird Chinese ROM hacks. Yeah, so it's that was kind of disappointing, but nonetheless, I got to play Sonic Advance 2, Sonic Advance 3. I think Sonic Advance 2 I beat, because I beat, but Sonic Advance 3 there was one boss I never was able to beat. So Sonic Advance 3 I never beat, but Sonic Advance 2, to be honest, I think it's also the easier game. I beat that one. And I like this sprinting mechanic. Sonic Advance 3 was really cool with the tag team mechanic, that they sometimes even they had like special names for tag team combinations. Like I think Sonic and Tails was like Dream Team, Sonic and Knuckles were like Rivals or something. And for Sonic 2, Advance 2, I think Cream was just so OP because she had Chao, and Chao could just defeat anything on the screen, or anything that was even off the screen. And every boss fight was so easy with Chao, with Cream and Chao. So that's probably the reason why I managed to beat Sonic Advance 2 and not 3, because in that Cream is not as OP anymore, I think. Yeah, but it was, to be honest, it was also kind of fun to go through the list, because back in the day where we didn't have social media or something, I actually went through all those games. I really went through all those games and checked them out and even played them, and then also made like kind of notes in my head like, oh, this is actually a fun game which I really want to play or like to play. Yeah, I mean, back then we just didn't have nothing, and things like that, like old NES games, were just enough. And I remember that I really loved a pool or billiard game on here. Maybe, I don't know. To be honest, I think I checked out the cartridge recently, like not recently, but a few years ago, and I think it doesn't work anymore. Which is kind of sad, but that's the thing. That's the thing that's kind of course, why like bootleg stuff is not really that great. Because, okay, to be honest, for this to this game, I actually know the date because I got this on my birthday as well, and we went to the Philippines on in the year 2010. No, not 10, 2005. Even older. So this is 20 years old. Guys, this is 20 years old, and 20 years later, sadly, bootleg cartridge doesn't work anymore. I guess. Maybe we'll see. I will also try to test them out, get some footage. But other than that, yeah. It was really cool. It was nice to at least get those two games. Then I had some weird Chinese bootleg versions of. It wasn't even Pokemon. It was this ROM hack thingy where you play as Pikachu in a platformer, which was bad. Because I remember if you press like select or something, you can freeze the whole game, but still move Pikachu and go through the level like this. So there was an inbuilt cheat, so to speak. Really weird. Anyways, this next game, this next game ignited my love for a certain series of games which was now super dear to me and would be one of my top games definitely, like of all time, like most formative games I would say, like through my whole life. That game is the Mega Man Battle Network series. Or the game series is the Mega Man Battle Network series, and this is my very first Mega Man Battle Network game. It's Mega Man Battle Network 6 Cybeast Falzar. For those who speak my language. And yeah, I really loved Mega Man from all the time. In general, blue is my most favorite color. Then, of course, that's why I also like Sonic the Hedgehog. And then I also always loved the design of Mega Man, also the old Mega Man titles, and then also Mega Man X and Mega Zero. Of course, I mean he's red, but I just love this design because it's also like kind of anime, of course. But with those games, with those old Mega Man titles, like from the original series, this jump and shoot, jump and run, shoot, platformer thingies, they were so hard, especially as a child. I think I got Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy earlier than this, and I was just so frustrated because I've never even seen one of these robo bosses because the levels itself, they were so hard for me as a child. And to be honest, I never got good. Yeah, that's the thing. At that time, in these like young years, I never had the skill or like the endurance to become good. And this was, of course, really frustrating and devastating as a child. So, that's why I never got really into the Mega Man series, even though I was such a fan of the art style, of the design, and so on. So yeah, so I never continued playing or getting any games of those. But I later on was a huge fan of the Mega Man Anti-Warrior series that was, or anime you could say, that aired on TV. And I was such a fan of that. I thought it was so cool with Lan Hikari and of course the Net Navi, this because it is a spin-off of the Mega Man world where like humans as us live in a more cyber connected world. Actually, we kind of live in it. And everyone had like a PET. This is like a newer version. The first iterations were like more clunky and bigger, but this looks almost like, yeah, you could say a Tamagotchi and a smartphone with a very little screen. And in this screen you have some sort of AI, which was personalized. You could have a personalized version, and it was personified. It had its own design, and in this case, for Lan Hikari, Mega Man was his Net Navi in his PET, like this, his own AI, and they had like also like it was like later on in the series it turns out okay, Mega Man is like taken from the data from Lan's brother who was not birthed, and so on. So yeah, it gets kind of convoluted and weird. But yeah, I just love the anime when it aired on TV. I haven't seen the whole anime, to be honest. Not every season, because of course not every season aired on in Germany, and I never got to watch the other seasons because back in the day I wasn't the best at finding original stuff on the internet. Okay, so and also so the series was great, really loved it, really loved the thing. The thing is, in the series how they battled, they would jack in with from the PETs. They would take out a cable and jack into a port, like a USB port or something, into a gadget or like a computer, and then they would like import the Net Navi into this gadget, into a certain of some sort of like cyber world or something. And in this cyber world, you could the Net Navis could fight off viruses if viruses infected their computer or like gadgets or something, or they could fight other Net Navis. And then the operator could use like little battleships, load them into their PET, and then those battleships could be like weapons or like boosts, like buffs or something, other utilities, so that the Net Navi could use them. And yeah, that's of course gets much more intriguing. And the way this was in the series and the way the game capsulated, like implemented this in the gameplay was really, really genius, because they made this combat style into a semi turn-based, semi real-time fighting, grid-based fighting game. As you can see here, you have these grids, and this is like here for you, Net Navi, and then this is for the enemy. You can move along all these 9 tiles, and yeah, you use like different kind of attacks, and also you have these battleships that we always choose in between in between those turns for the next turn, so that in this next turn our Net Navi can use them. But we of course we control the Net Navi. So yeah, it's just so cool. I wouldn't say like the story is really that great. It has some nice twists, to be honest. For the when you see it for the first time, you think, oh wow, it was kind of surprising, or maybe not. But other than that, it's just the gameplay was so unique, is so iconic, I would say. There was also this one game on Steam I actually played that had like taken this battle system and I wouldn't say improved it, I made a twist on it, which was really great. And it was like a roguelike or roguelite, yeah, something like that. And yeah, I really, really, really love this game, love this series. So this was my entry to the series, but it's 6 is actually the last one of the GBA series, the Battle Network series, Mega Man Battle Network series. I later on, since I started collecting physical games, I have some other entries of the series, but I've never played them completely. I always played them like halfway through at some point or something, but never really beat them. But this game I beat plenty of times, but I've never. So there's post game in this game, but to be honest, that was never. It was kind of hard. So I've maybe I should. I even played this also. I also got like a ROM hack of the Japanese version, because this has some Easter egg gameplay with another Kojima game, which was not Golden Sun. What's called? It's this Django game, this light game. This Together We Are Strong, Django. Oh my god, what's called? Boktai. It's Boktai. And because there's some Easter egg thingy with Boktai that can be unlocked or like played, but only in the Japanese version, some crossover stuff, content. So yeah, at some point I played also the ROM hack version of Japanese. I do own the Japanese version as well of and another thing for Mega Man, it's kind of like Pokemon, where they always release like 2 versions of the same game. So I have Cybeast Falza, there's also Cybeast Gregor. I do even have Cybeast Falza and Gregor in Japanese because I'm just a guy like that. Yeah. So yeah, and then just things. So after that, the game. This game, not exactly this game, but kind of the series and the spiritual successor was on the Nintendo DS, which was Mega Man Star Force. And man, I also love this series, really loved it. I would love to have Mega Man Star Force 3, because this was the best version. To be honest, in my opinion, it's the best. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Probably, I would say my most favorite Mega Man, Battle Network, and Star Force games are definitely 6. Either Cybeast Falza, Gregor. I don't really. It's not really important which one, because they're both great. And then I would say Mega Man. Mega Man Star Force 3. They're both at the top of the whole Mega Man, Battle Network, Star Force series thing. They're just the best to me. Yeah, okay, but maybe about Mega Man Star Force I will talk separately, of course. Or maybe also Mega Man Battle Network. There was recently the Mega Man Star Force collection also announced for Nintendo Switch. I haven't got the Mega Man Battle Network collection, but I should get it. Even though I probably won't really need to play it because I have everything. Or maybe they have quality of life improvements. Yeah, probably I should get it on Switch as well. But other than that, yeah, this was... Oh man, this video is so long. This was my whole Game Boy Advance collection. Can we get everything here? Okay, no, not. Let's do maybe this. Like my favorite Kirby is definitely. Yeah, I think these two, Kirby and Mega Man, those are my favorites of them all. I would say. Yeah, I mean, it's it's my collection. Yeah, so yeah, these are my favorite games. Kirby and yeah. Yeah, so this is my childhood collection of GBA games. I'm not really sure for DS, Nintendo DS, that I could do another video for Nintendo DS games of my childhood. For Game Boy games, yeah, I could do, but I don't really. It's more the collection of my father actually, to be honest, because it was my father's Game Boy, but I just inherited it. So I don't really have that much of a like a link, a bond to those games. But yeah, these are my childhood Game Boy Advance games. I hope this video was kind of at least enjoyable for you as much, or a little bit of fun to watch for you as it was for me. Is of course a rambly video, which is hopefully not going too long. I hope you did something productive, maybe, I don't know, did some chores, or maybe I don't know, maybe you played a video game, you grinded, maybe, I don't know, Diablo, something like that, played some grind heavy games. And yeah, that was my Game Boy Advance childhood video game collection. Let me know in the comments the games you had as a child. Maybe it's something I would also like to get now, because as I mentioned before, I currently like to collect Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games. If possible, complete in box, because that's really cool. I really also like these plastic thingies, covers. Yeah, they're fairly cheap on AliExpress. Yeah, other than that, I hope you have a nice day, night, evening, morning, whatever you do, whatever time you watch this video. And maybe this was also, maybe, yeah, I don't know, you have a reason, a motivation again to play some Game Boy Advance games on your crazy, cool emulation handheld that you probably have like 20 of, like me, or more, and you just don't know what to play. Maybe you want to play one of these games. Okay, that's it. Bye. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, editing this video again. This is editing Mano. And I just wanted to show you that I've recently picked up the Anbernic RG34XX, which is really cool. To be honest, haven't really played it yet that much, but yeah, it's really nostalgic. As mentioned in the video. Whoa, focus. Yeah, the Indigo Game Boy Advance was the one that I had, but I was so naive and thought I would like to have a reshell and a backlit screen, which was pretty bad because it had ghosting effects. And now I've got this handheld. I can't play the cartridges on it, but it gives me the old school feeling, which is nice. Okay, that's it. Bye. Yeah, I don't know. Subscribe, please, for more content like this, if you like that. And leave a like. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.